Are you sure?
Nope, not really.
Well, you should be.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming back and joining us for part 2 of our dive into Veil of the Void Reforged. We went through making our characters last time and got kind of this started on the setting for what we're going to be doing. So before we dive back in, I'm going to throw it over to Trevor to give us a little social promotion and whatnot.
Yeah, so again, like you said, I'm Trevor. I'm going to be GMing for you guys tonight. I'm super excited to be back again because you guys are pretty fun to be around. So that's always good. But yeah, you can find out all of our information. Our main website is sdgcreatives.com. But my recommendation is always to go to the Linktree/Veil of the Void, since that has all of our links organized, basically like a table of contents, so you can find everything you need there. So that's the best place to go.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree with that. When we talked about it a little bit after we went off air last time.
Oh yeah,
there was we found the PDF character sheet that
yes!
Trevor created for this, and we all kind of whoa, kind of went out a little bit because it takes a lot of work to make the Roll20s. As Don and Trevor both know, and I have heard from Don, and I 100% believe because he told me he had learned JavaScript, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, there's some stuff in there that's not fun.
No.
And so we looked at this PDF sheet with the big numbers and everything organized in such a great way. Like there's I'm not going to explain this correctly, so Trevor, feel free to jump in after I screw it up. But There's spots on one of the sheets for you to put like your bonus dice or something, and they're the size of a D6.
Yes. Yep. So to keep track of like all of your cooldowns and stuff like that, there's a whole cooldown page all mapped out to be roughly the size of a 32 millimeter like standard, like one of those Warhammer sized dice. So that you can keep track of all your abilities and cooldowns, since there are a lot of those in this game.
Yeah.
And so we were geeking out over that sheet and how well it's made and everything too. And we talked a little bit more, and I also am going to hit on this before we dive into about. We touched on this the first time as well, but we talked a little bit more off air, I think, about the accessibility and readability of what Trevor did. So go ahead and highlight that again real quick too.
Yeah, I know we talked about a lot off the air. It's just like, oh yeah, just no need to share any of this important information or anything like that to others, right? But yeah, no. So I'm dyslexic, and I took a lot of care to design the character sheets to be dyslexic friendly. I'm a huge fan of accessibility because I think that everybody should be able to play this game, regardless of any unfortunate life events that have happened. So I've designed the character sheets to where they're easy to navigate. Anywhere you could like mix up words, I have them capitalized and emboldened so that you can read it better. Everything's properly organized so that the character sheets are super easy to use. And once you know the rules, like where everything is on the character sheet. And then the core rulebook itself, I even went through and did a bunch of research to find the proper, easiest to read font as well as color for the background, so that everything's easy to read on paper and on PDF. So I took a lot of steps to include as much accessibility as I can throughout the book.
And it is really awesome. Like you can tell the difference visually looking at it. And it may not sound like a lot, but especially when it's like Don and I, when you go through a lot of different like PDFs, books, different things that we've been going through, we've been on this little journey of ours, you can really tell, and you don't even necessarily consciously tell. Like you don't be like, oh, this is so much better. It flows, and it just feels better, and you can get through it so much easier.
Yep, and that was the hope.
Yeah, and Trevor and his the editors and everything that went through, and the outside help where he had people review it, really nailed it. Like 100% nailed it on this. So you really should check it out. All
bit
right.
of
So I guess the other thing I should do, because I'm kind of excited to get into this, I forgot, but I'm Jeff. Don's down there at the not the, the bottom of my screen, but on your screen, he's actually the third one down, right underneath me. We are the main DGG duo, and George is one of our friends who guest stars as a player occasionally as we need him down the time, and is also a regular player in our outside games.
Yep.
That we don't stream. So if you're following us here, you probably know where to find us on Twitter and on Twitch because you're watching. But if you don't know, the socials are underneath everyone's overlay frames there as we go.
Yep.
All right. And without any more procrastination, we're going to toss it to our GM to give us our quick recap and get us going.
Okay. So it's great that you introduced yourselves.
I was like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot
good
that.
thing to do. But yes, we learned last time after we made your amazing characters that Captain Fitz von Tarlenheim, is that how you say it?
Tarlenheim.
Spore and Valerian are all currently on their way to a strange new place that has come up as the Star Council has, received quite a distressing signal near the outer rims, where a long forgotten vessel that was lost when the Shadow Scar first burst into this realm has now reappeared, cutting off much of the communications within the rim of space for the Star Council controlled area. You three are currently on your way through one of their very high-class, high-tech star cruisers, designed with specialized realmic dampeners to allow you to be able to pass into this strange new shadowy, the shadowy field that encapsulates this space station. Basically, you three have been selected amongst, I believe, about 20. I think it was like 20 other groups, somewhere around there, to go explore and do some general reconnaissance and gather some general information about what's going on with the space station. Additionally, there may be some survivors. They're not entirely sure. There was originally, a scientific crew sent ahead of you guys that has stopped responding, but if you're able to rescue them, that'd be great. Otherwise, the top priority is to gather information, see if there's something you can learn about this starship, and then to preferably get out alive with said information. And I believe we ended last time with introducing your characters. But if you'd like to give those watching this time a little bit of more introduction of who each of you are as we're traveling towards this station, that'd be amazing.
All right, sounds good. We'll just start and go down the line. So we'll start with me. Captain. So Captain Fitz von Tarlenheim is part of His Highness's Royal Fleet. Who His Highness is, we never get around to finding that out. He is an exiled that was once a human. So is very much from a distance appears to just kind of be like a normal, maybe somewhat eccentric human.
Somewhat.
Definitely has the old style pirate captain's hat placed upon his head with an exceptionally long feather.
You can't have a pirate hat without an exceptionally long feather.
Yes.
Like I think that's against the rules of piratehood. In fact,
yep.
Fairly certain.
All right,
well,
Don.
Yes.
So, I am Guy, the normal human maintenance guy.
Yes, the normal human maintenance guy.
That leaves a cloud of spores wherever it goes.
Your pig pen.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. We now know. It's perfect.
But yeah, I am playing I believe it's called a Topican.
Yes.
Just making sure I pronounce that correctly. And yep. But this one is more of a fungus folk, who generally goes by the name of Spore because, well, he leaves a mess.
It's kind of a little bit of spores gathering in the starship. Good thing it
Yeah.
has a ventilation system set up, so
Yeah,
no worries there.
His room's kind of like the upside down, with the little traces in the air.
Oh dear, that makes even more terrifying than I had originally envisioned.
But the majority of his persona when he walks out of his room, he's Guy, the maintenance guy.
The maintenance guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Everybody knows that guy.
And I will be playing Valerian, the doll. I had it in front of me. Doll Kindred.
Yes.
Like he's got like the. I never ever thought what he looked like, but we'll say he looks like a blue Loki.
Ah,
Fair.
okay.
Blue Loki. He's got like
I can picture it.
like book holsters over himself, where he has two books. One that is where he does most of his spell casting, and then he also has one where he just reads. He likes reading. And yeah, he's just being near him is just cold for some
Makes
reason.
sense.
And
I think-
you
All
know,
right.
you
I
can't
think
have a
my-
trump of a character unless you have a voice for them.
I think my
That
next
is
spell,
important.
my next spellcaster that needs a book is going to be someone that hates to read now.
Oh, that's perfect.
Just because you said that, George.
Well, understood.
Yep.
Understood. I take all the blame for that one.
No, that is funny though, because I did have someone who played a naturalist who hated reading, and every time he had to cast a spell, he was like, "Oh God!"
Oh,
He's
and there's always
"Not
like a little
again."
spectral fox that follows me too.
I learned
yes.
through space tube videos.
Yes, right. Can't this come in an audiobook?
Wunderbar. Wunderbar.
That's
In a true
glorious.
Arcanica, but in an audiobook. And that's an idea I might actually have to use sometime. I like that. Anyway, so yes, those are our three intrepid adventurers heading towards this unknown space station here. The crew before they sent you on this mission, of course, they heavily equipped you all with new high tech advanced environmental suits that have a realmic repulsor, so that if you do have to, or when you do dock on this star station and begin exploring it, in case any of that shadow, which they assume, they can only assume that it's probably engulfed the entire station, you yourself won't begin to be consumed by the realm, which is usually a good thing. So outside of that, they've also given you the necessary utensils to get through most areas. They've also supplied you, which on this self-guiding space or this spacecraft you're on, also comes with a high-tech, top-of-the-line artificial intelligence by the name of Eli, your electronic learning intelligence.
That's right.
Yes. He can assist you and answer most questions that you may have. He's also been heavily programmed with sensor arrays so that he can help locate where this strange mystical energy is coming from that's still powering this spaceship, as we learned last time, and potentially help you store information and gather information, as he's well designed for programming and to assist you in programming. So pretty well equipped for this journey here. Now, as you can see here on this map, thank you for moving the lovely section there. We're currently on our way to the tip of the Shadow Scar, which, as I said, roughly about 4,000 years ago, this massive scar tore into space, killing billions of individuals, and leaving just this inky blackness in its wake. At the very tip of it is Drakran, the dead planet, which is where exiles actually a lot of the time go to. But it's also a heavy hangout for most necromancers, as they love going there to either dominate magic or be consumed by it. Necromancy is a little bit dangerous. Now, as you are beginning to travel here, you do see the Eli does come over your communication system to let you all know that we will be arriving momentarily, and that it does look like we're going to be experiencing some turbulence, as there appears to be a alternating wave of shadow energy, kind of not preventing path, but obstructing it slightly. So there might be a little bit of a bumpy arrival, but it should be fine. Do any of you have piloting, by the way?
I do.
Ah, perfect. No reason.
no reason whatsoever.
No reason whatsoever. But yeah, so you three have known each other for a little bit of time, enough to kind of see slight of what each other do to be able to function as a team, function loosely at least. Mainly you get the idea you're being used as expendable, expendable with plausible deniability, so that if something bad happens to you guys, the world will kind of forget about it, as you do. Yes. You hear the docking alarm, or not the docking alarm, but the warp alarm as it's beginning to exit. So before, where you saw these, almost as if your starship was zooming through what looks like a beautiful river of this like white and blue energy that's just flowing past your starship. All of a sudden the warp ends, and you guys now see this huge dome of darkness. I guess it's less of a dome, more of an egg, because it's kind of like, it's more like an egg shape. Outside of that, you also see, as we're going here, I'll show you basically exactly what we see, but this strange opening in at the very tip of this egg, where it looks like the veil of reality is being torn asunder. On the other end of it, you see large structures of buildings that are casting shadows, almost as if these shadows are reaching out towards this space station that you can just barely see through this weird shadowy fog that has been in front of you guys.
Oh.
Yes. So it's quite the sight. Something none of you ever seen before. Most likely. I don't think any of you have. No. Let's hope not, because then we will have questions. But as you guys arrive, you do see outside your windows the large spaceship, as well as several other of your fellow starships arriving out of warp at the exact same time. However, you do see now this egg-like shadow that was wrapped around this is beginning to convulse, as you see small strands beginning to pull apart, to which you hear an alarm immediately set out on the starship that you're currently driving within, and it's requesting a pilot to head to the main bay.
Can anybody pilot?
Well,
Yes.
that's not my department.
That's okay. I can do this.
I sure hope so.
I was chosen
Well-
specifically for this mission.
Yes, you were. Uh-huh. Don't
Sure.
mind me, I'm just putting on the extra seatbelt now.
There's just going to be a little turbulence. It's fine.
Wunderbar.
Oh no.
And Captain Fitz will head up to the pilot's chair or seat.
Okay. As you kind of like swivel in, it's one of those like hover seats where it just like quickly turns around for you to like just leap into it. Eli comes over the commands. Welcome, Captain. Thank you for heeding the call. I apologize, but I was not expecting such a violent return to reality from the warp.
Well, when you're going into the unknown, sometimes you have to expect the unexpected.
Yes. Thankfully, my navigations are still currently functioning. If you wouldn't mind, I can navigate you to the docking bay 16, where we are meant to proceed to.
Ah, yes. Give me the coordinates, and away we shall go.
All right, so he'll punch in like on that little nav camera or nav little scope that you have in front of you, like this fancy little 3D scope of the space around you. You do see that it's kind of wibbly and wobbly looking, as you can tell that a lot of the shadow is fighting back against even the repulsors that you have on this starship. So it looks like this is heavily concentrated shadow energy, which, I mean, considering there's a massive leak into space, probably why. Thankfully, the ship didn't explode. Now, from you, Captain, I will need a piloting check. And since you are such a great captain,
First roll.
clearly, yes, the first roll. I will need that, and if you could also roll with an auto hit die, which just means we'll just consider you having a 6 as one of your results.
Okay. So the piloting, since I have 2 skill points.
Yep.
And that's with a finesse, is that 7 dice or?
So
because I have a finesse of 5.
You have a finesse of 5, so that would be 6 dice that you would roll with. 1 that would be an extra die since you got an auto hit die. So that one we just you don't have to roll that one. That one will just be automatically counted.
That's right. It's because the 2 points is 1 extra die. Each 2 points is the extra die. Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Yep. So 2 points gives you the extra die. The 1 point in the skill gives you the extra pip. So you can turn like a 4 to a 5 if need be.
Okay.
And you can either roll in Roll20 or however you'd like.
Yeah. Those
Not too bad, actually.
Oh, did it do it?
Yeah.
It did.
I didn't hear the boop, so I wasn't sure if it did.
It looks like you need to roll 1 more d6, though.
All right. Well, I'll take this one here, and well, let's get to the right window.
Will you, though?
Eventually.
Come on, Captain.
There we go. A 4. Well, so as it is right now, you have 3 successes because you have 2 5s, and you have an auto hit die, which is a 6 automatically. Now, since you just rolled a 4 and you have 1 skill point in piloting, you can turn that 4 to a 5, giving you 4 total successes, which is more than I was looking for. So you killed it, Captain. Well done. You didn't crash us, and we didn't blow up, so our campaign gets to continue. This is fantastic.
Yay!
Wow, he actually can pilot.
The immediate shock.
There's a reason I was a captain in His Highness's Royal Fleet. Come on, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Guy.
So glad you do not have a French accent.
So yes, you can feel this almost as if you're going less through frictionless space and more as if you're traveling through water. You feel this weird pushback as you activate the thrusters. Now, what the other two of you notice as you're looking around, almost all light vanishes from this area. It becomes almost as if it's just a weird sepia tone, to where you think there would be light, but even in that tone, there is no true light. So, the auto lamps come on the spaceship, and even that can barely illuminate anything around you, just enough to kind of show you this weird warbling effect as you guys fly through this whatever a weirdness that you're going through. You even notice, though, that the thrusters, while they are currently activated within the starship, and you can see that they're functioning, as you look outside, they're not even producing any light. So while it looks like light can exist and then stuff like that uses and produces light can still happen, it's almost as if there's just no way for it to actually be seen inside this area.
Cool.
Yeah. Now, as you begin traveling, you're growing closer and closer to this star station, thanks to your beautiful flying there, Captain. Not to make your head even bigger, but you did a great job. As you all are flying through, following the navigation guide, because you can't really see anything out there, you all hear this almost like what sounds like a deep moaning noise from like almost as if there's a whale nearby, to the point where it even shakes the ship as this noise just kind of echoes throughout the hull. Although you don't see anything near.
We got space whales or something, Eli? What's going on around here?
That is a very good question, there.
I apologize, Captain. I do not know of any space whales, at least in this section of space. If you would like, I can search the extranet.
All right, let's see what you find. We gotta wait till we get there anyway. We got like a couple, 10 seconds to kill.
Yes, 15 more seconds until arrival. Thankfully, I have searched over 2 million resources, and I have found that there is no such thing as space whales located in this general direction.
That's always a bonus.
Well, like we said,
Thankfully, our
expect the
stealth is
unexpected.
activated.
That's definitely very good. We don't want them to know we're here until they know we're here.
Why are we worried about space whales?
Space whales don't exist in this area. Didn't you hear, Eli? Come on.
Space whales? They don't exist.
That whatever. I don't get paid enough for this.
So after a bit more of travel, and you notice that this whatever you're flying through gets thicker and thicker as the closer to the star station you get, to the point where the ship kind of slows down almost to a crawl before bursting out the other end of it. And now you guys can actually clearly see the starship. It's no longer got this like strange film blocking your entryway, and it seems almost as if you're in the eye of a storm of this whatever this weird inky blackness is around you guys. And you can see that it looks to be originating from that tear. However, you do notice something you didn't see before you got here from the outside, which are tendrils kind of latching into the station itself. And I say tendrils, they don't look like they're from some kind of creature. It's almost as if the strange black cloudy mist thing that you flew through is like feeding off the station itself.
I understand that perfectly. I know that feeling.
As a
Eli.
regular Tuesday.
Yeah.
Eli, is that
obviously.
their ship getting pulled back into that hole, or is it stationary?
Preliminary scan suggests that it is currently in a stasis.
All right. Well, friends, gear up. We're about ready to dock and explore the unknown.
Ah, wunderbar. Let's
Then
get this
If
show a rolling.
if Captain is no longer needed in the chair at this point, I'll get up
Yes.
and go to my gear locker, open
Okay.
it up, take off the hat I'm currently wearing, put it inside, grab my the gun blade, the plasma
Mhm.
rifle, my backpack of other supplies, and grab out a different hat because I need the exploration hat instead of my flying hat this time.
Oh, of course. It's a huge difference.
There it is. It's a
Yeah.
different color. It's different colored feather.
Yeah, and it's slightly bigger when it's an exploration hat. You got to get that like roof distance so
Mhm.
that you can sense when there's something above you.
Exactly.
Ah,
All right,
of course.
Guy, you got your stuff? Are you ready?
Yep, I've got my maintenance stick here. I think I'm good to go.
Yes, that's what you have is a maintenance stick.
Currently activating the docking bay routine. And as you see, your starship gets pulled into kind of like a gravitational field as it calculates itself, like redirects and docks with one of the bay doors.
All right, this is it. Last one in's a rotten mushroom. And Captain will get to the door first.
Birding?
Well, one moment. Jeez. As Valerian grabs their chain saber, vibro
staff and is putting on this like really heavy metal gauntlet on one hand and like a white glove on the other, like a very fancy white glove that doesn't fit with the outfit for some reason. But
Perfect.
like think like Rogue from X-Men.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Well,
That's it.
this man has no patience, I swear. It's just
And Guy's human appearance has like those like ear protector like maintenance gear, like
Yep.
like an
That's
airplane
exactly
tech,
what I
the
pictured.
big yellow jumpsuit, and it just says maintenance stencil on the back.
It's perfect. It's brilliant.
He's got like a neon lit vibro staff that he's just like, well, let's go.
Directing
way.
people out the door. Docking complete. I have detected that there is very little atmosphere currently available on the starship. As such, your environmental suits will be active during the entire trip.
wunderbar.
Excellent.
Your
excellent.
environmental suits can last for upwards of 1.5 hours before I recommend returning to the starship.
So
Sounds
what
fair.
he's saying is don't get lost, is what he is saying.
He's also
That is
saying we gotta
preferable.
hurry. We only got an hour and a half, so we only got 45 minutes in and 45 minutes back. Unless we find something, then we can go 50 minutes in and just get back a little bit faster.
Sounds like a
Love your
great
logic.
idea.
I knew you'd agree, Guy. Let's go.
Hi.
And
I love
on
the
the way,
dynamic already.
on the way, like to the actual linkage, Guy's like carefully shaking some spores across the side of the ship in various spots, just in case.
In case, you
Gotta
never
keep-
know.
Got to keep the legacy going.
Yeah. If I die here today.
If you could get a black light in the ship, it would be a Jackson Pollock painting.
Oh,
Joke's on you. They're bioluminescent.
You don't even need the black light.
Don't even need the black light. So, you hear the standard decompressing noise that you're all become so familiar with traveling through space as the doors open up. Immediately as they do so, you can notice these halls are very, very old. Like when compared to your nice starship, where everything's like nice and pristine and clean and well laid out, and it's this one is heavily decrepit. Unlike the other one where there were nice metal plates along the walls to confine a lot of the like wiring and stuff like that. Here you see from the hanging down from the ceiling large ventilation shafts that are all hooking into strange like slightly rotating fans. These strangely and oddly enough, these lights in the hallway are somewhat, as you watch, shifting between bright and dim. So on a fairly regular beat, the lights kind of like illuminate the hallway a little bit more before going back to a very dim, softly lit hallway. So it switches between being able to be seen pretty well in here and barely being able to see far at all, unless of course any of you can see in the dark.
This reminds me of my home back in maintenance land.
Oh yeah, you're very comfortable here. Very maintenance.
Yes. Yes. Okay. You whatever.
I love it.
So yeah, the halls, several wires hanging down everywhere, sparking electricity as some of the wires have become disconnected, but bursts of electrical energy are kind of reflowing through it, sparking every now and then. You don't see any signs of, especially with the size of this, and if people were trying to leave in a panic, you don't see any signs of anything that was living here. No, like even with, being kept in a realm for so long, there should still be something, whether that would be, metallic clothing or some sort of like skeletal structures still able to be found even after, realmic decomposition. The only thing you seem to see is along some of the walls and occasionally on the floor what looks like shadowy outlines of individuals. Other than that, it doesn't seem like there was any life ever on this star station.
Eli, are you seeing this?
Yes, I currently can sense stuff through your ocular vision.
Well, then start ocular sensing and tell me what you think about this.
I find it quite strange. There should be life, considering that there was over 500,000 individuals currently, or that were currently on board at the time of its disappearance.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
Yes, I have noted that as well. Very astute.
Gonna take the butt of the gun blade, just kind of tap it against the wall and see what kind of sound comes.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so as you do that, you hear this da-dum, 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 as it like echoes down the entire hallway. So it sounds like it's heavily hollowed on the inside to where it can like carry sound. But after, a moment of just listening to it echo down, you hear another noise echoing back down that same hall.
A different noise?
Yeah, so this one sounds a bit screechier. You heard like as it screeched down, and you heard it echoing back towards you.
So
I think somebody wants to say hello.
Yes, that might be the case, but why don't we send something else ahead of us instead of just full blowing it? As they say.
I thought we
Said
were
what?
getting ready to make some music.
No.
Don't.
And I will
A good song.
cast.
Dun dun dun. First
I'm
spell.
going to cast a spell.
Oh wow! Wow!
I am
I like
going to cast Summon Beastling.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that you're trying to not put yourself into danger immediately. That's usually a good thing
Yeah, self-preservation is a thing,
for some people.
for some people, yeah. Okay, so to cast the spell, I need to... Hold up. I know this. How do I do this again?
You're a naturalist, right?
Yes, I'm a naturalist. So it's with judgment.
So they
right?
use judgment. So you'll start with whatever your judgment total is.
Perfect, which in this
And-
case is 5.
Okay, perfect. And then do you have any points? I'm assuming you have some, but do you have any points in Arcanting?
I have 1 point in Arcanting.
Perfect. Well, then you will go ahead and just roll with your base judgment. Since you only have 1
right.
point, you won't add any additional bonus dice to the Arcanting check. But I think Summon Beastling is a easy check, so you're only looking for 2 successes.
Yeah, hold up. What is it? Hold up. Summon Beastling is...
Ooh, or actually, does Summon Beastling, is that a non-difficulty?
That's
actually
a
might be-
non-difficulty.
Ah,
Yeah.
so non-difficulty is actually just automatically cast.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So I should have checked first.
No, that's I forgot that part too. So
You think of the 140 spells, I'd be able to remember at least one. Actually, I don't think that. I'm lucky I can remember anything. So yes, you weave together your magic, and summoning forth. What creature do you summon?
it is going to be a snowy owl.
Ooh, I
And
like it.
just basically after I close the book and put it back, I stroke it for a second and say, "Be my eyes, darling," and then I throw it, and my eyes just go white, and I'm just gonna look through its eyes as it flies down the hall.
That's very cool. I like that. Very cinematic. So yes, the snow owl who literally as you produce them, and you can now see through their vision as they begin soaring down this hallway. The rest of you see as like small bits of snow actually fall off of the wings of this creature as it begins flowing before kind of vanishing before hitting the ground. It just kind of leaves this very soft trail behind it. So this hallway goes pretty far. You see as you're flying down with this owl here, it does eventually come to a three-pronged bend. It looks like you guys are on the far docking bay. You can also see that the ring goes pretty far around to the right, but then they all connect towards more of a central entry point. As you proceed down, you notice through the eyes of this owl in particular, because owls typically have good night vision. In the dark, you can notice those weird shadows that you saw at the beginning almost look as if they're moving when the dark happens. The light begins to dim.
Wonder that's. Hey. After once it gets to that little place where it just like it, you said like it splits off in 3 different ways.
Mhm.
I will come back. Well, the path goes down and then it splits into 3 different ways from that. And it appears that how do you say the shadows, these outlines of what used to be here, they seem to move as it gets dark.
Yeah, when light changes places, your shadow's in a different place too. I mean,
Well, if you no, it's not. It's in the same place. If you have not moved either, it's if the light has moved, that's the difference. But no, from this constant light and from a single source, the shadows seem to almost move on their own.
I like how you just got actually. That was great.
Captain Fitz is gonna look at the closest shadow and just watch it.
Make an analysis or observation check for me.
Ooh. I think it's gonna be 3 dice is all, because you said analysis or what?
Or observation. 1 is judgment, 1 is mentality.
Yep, it's gonna be 3 no matter. We'll go with
Nice.
observation because I have a
Perfect.
3. I have 3 judgment and that's it.
I believe in you. You got this. Well, hey, I was just looking for 1, so you're actually, you notice that it faintly moves, and it looks almost as if it's trying to. You see like an arm shadow kind of producing underneath it, and it looks like it's trying to grasp towards something before it just kind of goes back to the way it was after you noticed it. Also, at the end of that hallway, by the way, you saw through the eyes of the owl. I forgot to describe that, but you saw what seemed like a maintenance and records room, and directly across from a control tower room, basically.
Okay. That sounds like the best plan of action is to head in for those. Records of any kind would be useful, and then we can maybe figure out a better layout of what this ship used to be, as this is very much older than what most of us are akin to.
Does Captain Fitz feel any familiar elements or any kind of familiar feeling to these shadows, being that he himself has died, right? Because they're like resurrected.
Technically, yeah, exiled. They're basically new memories that come back and are formed into new creations, or old memories that are formed into new creations. Basically, ghosts. So yeah, you do actually get, as someone who is akin to death, you do have a feeling and understanding that while these shadows are not alive, it does seem like at one point they were. What's even more unnerving is it looks it's just very strange. There should be something casting this light onto, like a body casting, the shadow itself, but it looks almost as if the faintest amount of life essence was stored inside these shadows themselves.
Well, I think these are just they're just trying to claim the life they once had. Yeah, they're just trying to reach out and like something happened here, and I think maybe the shadow just absorbed them. That weird shadow thing we came through. Maybe they just melded with the shadow, and they're not here. But there's this very faint piece that's here, and I don't think there's anything we can do for them right now. So onward.
I get that. I leave
yeah.
pieces everywhere.
Yeah, see, guy gets it.
I was going to say, I've heard before that energy cannot be neither created nor destroyed, so maybe this is just the remnants of what was.
That is a good possibility.
I forget you're in my head.
Do not worry. I have not invaded your mind. I am currently the earpiece that you are wearing.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does it? Though?
Yes.
All right. So you said there's a maintenance and document
Nine.
room. I think we gotta take the maintenance guy here to the maintenance room. Maybe he
Oh,
can
yeah.
get something working.
The literal maintenance guy.
And there's also a control panel thingamadoodle. Not
Yeah,
my
they're basically
specialty.
in the same like dome area.
So let's make our ways that way, but let's try not tapping the walls again to alert anyone of our presence.
I
Sure,
was
it's
just
fine.
seeing if it echoed or what was going on. I mean, we've had some weird sound stuff happening recently.
All right. As you proceed slightly cautiously, maybe, I don't know what you're doing, but you're proceeding.
I mean, the
You could be
owl didn't
banging on
see
every
anything.
pole.
The owl didn't see anything that was like, to give Captain Fitz pause. So Captain Fitz is just going because we're on a
True.
timer. We're on a timer.
That's true. We are on a timer. We got 50 minutes if we're lucky, and then we got to book it back, as you said. Yeah. So as you're proceeding, you go deeper and deeper into this area, and like it doesn't seem like the darkness is encroaching on you, but it does feel slightly claustrophobic in here, which is weird because I mean there's no atmosphere, but still this weird like you just have this like ever presence about you, and it's almost as if something's watching you, but you can't put your finger on what it is. Coming to the crossroads, you see off in the distance another crew that was here. They're going in an opposite direction. They have a few scanners out and they're looking over the general area, but it looks like they're proceeding more to the right rather than straight onwards towards like the main hub of this station. As you proceed forward, right there where you saw it was the maintenance and records room, as well as the like interconnected to the like information hub for directing traffic, all that good stuff. Again, it is quite strange that everything is still powered. However, to access this room, it does look like you're going to need to do a either programming or mechanics check, just to get the door open, as it looks like none of you probably have your key card. Your approved station key card.
I have
an
some.
owl.
The owl key card.
I have my maintenance stick.
True.
I mean, if we want to go that route, I mean, I have another things that we just want to say.
I
mean, maintenance sticks are really good at breaking stuff, so you could.
I can do mechanics.
Guy, the maintenance man, can do mechanics?
What?
I don't know if I believe that.
All right.
Blasphemy.
Like,
Guys, first roll.
I think that's the button.
Awesome. And you'll get an auto hit die to that as well because of because of Eli.
Yeah. Technically, let's see. That's mentality. I had 2 skill points in it, so shouldn't it be another die as well?
Yes, there should be another die.
Okay. No.
It's 3.
Yeah.
I was just looking for an easy check, which with your auto hit die you succeeded at. So Guy the maintenance man can indeed do maintenance. Confirmed. People were doubting. No longer.
Yes, I have so many doubts, but that is not one of them now.
After a bit of fuddling and using your maintenance stick and a little bit of percussive maintenance, you do manage to get the door to interact. Yes. You managed to get the door to interact, and it does open up for you guys. As you do so, it looks like there was still a bit of atmosphere in here, as it kind of like these like old dust particles just kind of fly out. And you now have access to the maintenance and records room, to which on the inside you see several strange oddity machines. Again, like I've said, everything is very old and derelict here. But these machines, they look like old supercomputers. Like these are massive, like computer storage rooms. And it looks like most of their information is probably stored upon these things. There are a few like data tablet areas that you can pull out some data tablets. You do kind of hear a shifting noise coming from inside this particular room, though.
That is
I don't know if we're alone in here. Eli?
peculiar.
I'm not currently detecting any life forms outside of those who have joined you. The other crew members.
I did
not mean to phrase that strangely. I apologize. Fear not, there is no jump scares.
Yes.
That's a lie.
All right. You guys see if you can work the mechanical stuff. I'll take a look around.
I'm no good when it comes to the electronic bill stuff.
Me either.
Read the data tablets or something. I don't know. We're supposed to find out what happened. There might be information there. I don't.
Me and technology do not get along. It kind of is a draining task for them, if you understand. I will take a look around.
I get you. I have detected a artificial intelligence access port. If you plug in one of the USBs that I've been given I may attempt to gather some information.
You got it, Eli.
Oh boy.
Captain Fitz
Yes,
goes over
we're
and
years in the future, and we still use USBs.
Question: how many times does it take Captain Fitz to get it in? One way, flip it, doesn't go in there, flip it back, then it goes in.
Even though
there are more than 3 dimensions.
Even though we're still using USBs, I think by this point they would have figured out how to make it just work either way.
I would hope so.
They actually made the U part of the USB real.
Wow. Yeah, they've made it so simple that like the actual connector just follows the entry point. So like no matter how many times you turn it, it's going to go in.
Truly universal.
Truly universal. We have achieved pure technology.
About time.
About time. It only took 3,000 years of design to finally get it to sense another USB port. Don't even have to take the cap off or anything. So yes, you plug it in, and there's like a slight spark as Eli's kind of like readjusting the power levels to try to not overcharge the USB. And it's also putting up some anti-firewalls just in case something did happen to this starship that could potentially hack into itself. And as it's plugged in, from the USB, it actually lights up this whole room, as if the station itself is actually consuming some of the energy power within that the high-tech USB that automatically enters itself. So the moment this happens, the other two of you who are watching this room, you now see what was making that shuffling noise. As you're watching, several, like the moment the light comes on, you hear this loud shrieking noise. And immediately coming down from the ceiling, you see these two like almost gooey hands made of dark shadowy tendrils just kind of reach down before it plops to the ground, forming into like a shadowed wraith creature.
Yeah. Well, we have company.
Yes.
You make it happen, cat. Dun, dun.
As Fitz was
Dun, dun,
reaching
dun.
for a data pad, mumbling, I thought the guy with the books would want to read at least. Gosh.
I do like to read. It's just me and technology don't get along.
Don't worry, they're intentionally a little hard to see because they're shadow creatures blending
Yep.
into a dark background. But yes, so I'll have you guys roll for your initiative. Now the fun thing that gets to happen, all you have to do is you click on your token in Roll20. You just click on your token, and then in your character sheet, you click the button next to initiative, and it will automatically add your initiative and add you to the turn order. Just like that. Ooh. See how nice and easy that was? And then we have these other creatures, these weird goo creatures beginning to pull themselves out of the ground and the ceiling. And thankfully, I actually go after all of you. I rolled so low with my initiative. I rolled a 1. I couldn't have rolled any worse if I wanted to. All right, so I
believe
was a smuggler, right?
Yes. I believe I have a special ability called where did it go? Shoot first.
Yes. It is a fun one.
I am going to go ahead and use that almost as like it's almost like an afterthought. Like, you know, he's sitting there like the data pad thing, I'm getting ready to read, and it's almost like, you know, not even really paying attention, just almost like a reflex.
It's a reflex of combat.
As a
you
reflex shot.
You're just like,
kill it with fire.
My gosh. So yes, you get to choose someone within your short range. Which weapon are you using?
Let's see. Going down here.
I think this is really the only one that you can kind of see. This guy you can probably see too. He's within 14 squares of you.
Okay, so the gun. Okay, can't use the gun sword. So because that one has to be stat first. So
yeah, that one's melee.
Looks like the caliber pistol, is it within 8 for the range?
Yes,
8 squares.
You can shoot you can shoot this. You can shoot this guy. This one here at the top here. Well, it'd help if my color was actually brighter. There we go.
So what is the?
So whenever you're making an attack with your weapon, since you're using a finesse-based weapon, you will be. Are you using weapons mastery or dual wielding? Are you attacking? Are you eventually going to be attacking with 2 weapons? Well,
yeah.
You're attacking with 1 right now, so you'd use weapons mastery.
Okay.
So, since you have 2 points in your weapons mastery, you always add 2 bonus dice because you're making an attack. So anytime in this game you make an attack, it's always plus 2 bonus dice. Since you have 2 skill points in weapons mastery, you get to add a 3rd bonus die. And then you get to roll with as many finesse dice as you have. So all you should have to do is hit the F button next to weapons mastery, and it should roll all of your dice. Oh, that was
1, 2, 3,
terrible.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That was pretty
5
rough.
plus 3. But since I have 2 points in that, do I have that like I can add a pip, right?
Yeah, so you can add a pip. Unfortunately, we do need a natural success in order to actually hit.
Okay.
Now you do have what's called determination. So since we're level 2, you would all have 3 determination. You can expend 2 of those points if you want to re-roll the check, or you can just take the missed shot.
Honestly, I think the missed shot is the better way to go.
It makes a lot of sense with the
considering
scene.
how I described it. Yeah,
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense with the scene. Plus, you're firing at a giant shadowy creature in a dimly lit room, so I mean that makes kind of sense. All right, so that would be your first shot. However, now you actually get to do your turn because that was just the beginning of combat. Because smugglers are cheaters. Now, I'm assuming you probably want to do dual wielding.
Yes.
Okay.
So how does
do you have 2 pistols?
Does the gunblade count as a one-handed weapon?
Yes, it does. So if you're going to do one-handed weapon, you would have to run up to the creature to hit it with your blade and then fire the pistol if you want to do dual wielding. Yes. Otherwise, it would be a weapons mastery attack with the pistol at range if you're just wanting to do ranged.
I do have a second pistol if I need it, but so my movement is 6 squares, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is it like how do the squares?
Yep, you can get right next to him.
Okay. Yep, we're gonna do it then. He's gonna see something
Captain
moving.
Bravely
really
charging into battle.
Yep, that's how he does. All right, so then it'll be dual wielding for.
There's 2 of them.
I don't know why I did that one. There we go. Roll 20 is weird sometimes.
Yep.
What? No.
Okay. Well, with your pip, you can turn that 4 into a 5, and that would let you hit. These guys have light armor, so they're only 2 to hit, so that attack would indeed hit.
So is there a negative to like using the gun while in like melee range in this?
Only if they go before you.
Okay.
But when you have higher initiative, you never suffer any negatives when you're using ranged in combat.
All right.
Which is really nice.
Cool. So we will roll
and it makes sense,
damage.
you know, like if you're fighting in a combat and then all of a sudden, you know.
Yeah. All right. So that is the damage roll for the thrust of the gunblade.
Okay, so 15. Nice.
And then
so yeah, you thrust into this as the blade cuts down. You kind of hear this like mushing noise as you kind of like cut into the shadow, and it leaves like a slight scar into this muck that you're hitting.
And is that part of that damage is the gun part, or is that separate damage?
So the gun part is activated as an extra action if you'd like to, I believe. Let me just pull up that weapon here so that I'm not telling you incorrectly. Yes, so as an extra action, you can do the additional 5 piercing damage. So that would do the 20 total, I believe.
Okay.
If you wanted to use your extra action.
Would that prevent me from firing the other?
No.
It doesn't. Okay. Then yes, I will do that.
It's just extra damage.
Yeah.
If you want to use your extra action. Sometimes your classes, usually it's like at higher levels you want to watch your action economy a little bit more, but at lower levels it doesn't matter too much.
And then with the gun in the other hand, I want to use it doesn't say this one costs points, but I was going to do blinding shot because it says after you perform an attack, you may fire a flare shot at the target for 3 points, and they gain the blind condition for 1 round.
So it will use 3 of your points.
Okay.
As a target for 3 points.
Okay. That's what that is. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I would automatically go off. You would blind them. Thanks. I'm not going to hit you ever if that happens. I've resigned my fate now immediately.
And is the blinding shot, is that the other attack then, or
no? So here's the fun part, right? So you can shoot them with your next pistol, and then you can activate the blinding shot for the 3 points. So you still get the full attack and the blinding condition. And what's also fun is since you're a smuggler, you don't actually need to use the pistol to do the blinding shot. Your sword can do the blinding shot because it's got the little ranged attachment to it, so you can just blind shot them. This poor Shadow. I mean, I know it's trying to kill you, but still.
He was blinded by light.
Roll for the second shot. Oh god.
Oh my goodness, you are not. You might need to roll outside of roll 20 because it looks
This
like roll
always
20
happens.
is hating
This
you.
is all right. So
This happens to him all the time.
Two determination lets you reroll, right?
Yes, you would have to keep one of those ones, but you can re-roll everything else.
Hey, that works. Let's use all of the things we got here. All right.
You should also have, I think, one more die here. Sorry, let me just make sure I got
1,
that.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I didn't add it to your dual wielding. There we go.
Okay.
That's better.
We'll see if it makes. Wow, that's not even. It's doing a whole bunch of other things.
Yes. So now you should just be able to hit the finesse on the dual wielding. Oh,
that was
oh, hey, look,
the
you got a point.
extra one from the last
Your
time.
extra die.
All right, so but I don't have a 4 anyway, so I can't. One success is not enough to hit.
Now here's the thing. So instead of spending 2 to re-roll that check, if you'd like, you could spend 1 determination point to raise that 3 to a 4, and then since you have at least 1 point in weapons or in dual wielding, you can raise that 4 to a 5. So you would hit the creature. You would roll with what's called an advantageous or no, an unfortunate success. So you rolled a critical miss. Congratulations.
Yep.
The first one. But you would also hit at the same time. So something good would happen, something bad would happen.
All right. Well, let's see. One.
Nice.
No, it is 6
Nailed
total
it.
damage. Yes, because it adds a finesse.
6 total. Okay,
So
perfect.
26 total damage, I believe.
That's not bad. That's really good for what you did there. Yeah, you slice down on this creature. It leaves a huge it just parts the shadow just about. Like it's you can tell that you're cutting into it, but it's kind of like when you cut jello and the jello just kind of like flops. To describe it the best way I can think of. As you slice down, you pull the blade out. As you're pulling the blade, you just pull the little trigger, shooting forth the little blunderbuss shot that's built into the blade. Activating the blinding while also spinning around the pistol in your hand and just shooting the other creature. Heavily damaging this creature. And you do notice that from the blinding shot, the light, like you hear that the others kind of screech backwards, moving away from the light as much as they can as the blinding shot goes off.
Use the light, gentlemen. Onward.
Use the light.
Okay.
Now I'm blinded. Blinded by the light.
Hey.
All right, our next one on the list is Valerian.
Hello.
Hello.
We have an extra token out here too.
Oh, did he come back? Okay.
Hey, look, he came back.
There he goes.
Fritzy came back.
Okay, so I have 6 movement.
Yes.
Yes, I can do it. Oh, I read. I can do. Okay, so 6 movement. So
5 could get you right there if you're looking for distances.
that's the spore.
That's sport.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I was reading the wrong person. Well, so 4 could get you, or 5 could get you there.
There's a third one I didn't even see.
Oh, there is.
Yes. Yeah, there's a reason I built them into the background. 6 could get you 1. 6 could also get you directly next to this one here.
I will.
If you wanted to sprint, you could get to the one in the back.
So this is a wall right here, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you
No,
would just have
that's
to,
fine.
Slightly walk around.
Yeah. No, I will. I can get to here. That's what I figured out. And then I will take out my book.
Nice.
No,
And
now
do
you're
some
gonna
reading?
read.
I'm going to read a passage.
Ooh. Can we get this on Audible?
Wolves
Oh,
hunt
he's
in
back.
packs at the pack leader's command. I am that leader. And then my words echo like a wolf's howl.
Target adversary and 2 wolf knights surround the target. Perform a single attack using your Arcantine value. On a successful hit, inflict 2d6 plus judgment slashing damage.
That sounds right.
So I am going to have this one and these 2 wolf knights come, and I will make my attack. So
Now,
it's
do you
not-
want them to look different than the normal wolf knights? Like, are you looking for like the ice armored, like, you know, the frozen like wolf creatures? You know, they have like slight crystals of ice in their fur as they manifest.
Yetis.
Or they're yetis. Perfect.
They're
Even
yetis.
better. Just massive yetis with these rune inscribed blades, just kind of appear around these poor shadow creatures.
And our
That's
Arcantine is
amazing.
judgment, so that is 5 plus I have 1 in that, so that means I get to change a single die to
Add 1 pip.
I get to
Yeah,
add
you gotta
1
add
to
one
it.
pip
Yes.
to it. Mhm.
All right, so I get to do that.
Nice. And what's the difficulty on that one? It's an
This-
Arcantine attack, right?
Yeah, it's an Arcantine attack.
Perfect. You hit because you can turn that 4 into a 5. with
5.
your
Yep, that's
Arcantine.
exactly. And then I take 2d6 plus judgment slashing damage.
Yes. And which one are you attacking?
The one right below me. This one.
Perfect. Your giant yetis just appear in this room, you know, kind of shuffling and moving the boxes along as they kind of just rip into this reality.
So,
He came back again.
question.
He keeps coming back. Why does he keep coming back?
Question. Can
Yes.
I mimic strike that?
Oh, you can mimic strike it because it's considered an attack. So yes.
So when Valerian does that, I go, "Wow, that looks interesting," and I copy exactly everything he does.
What?
Oh, mimics.
Attack
How much
uses
damage did you do?
judgment.
Wow, you rolled almost max damage too. As these yetis just went whack.
Whack.
Yeah, so at the end it says the attack uses judgment and can copy attack-based spells.
Yes, so it can cast attacks just in general, which is one of the
Yeah.
best parts about them. Mimics just, I think it uses a few of your points, if I'm not,
Yeah, it
if I
uses
remember
one.
correctly. Yeah, it uses 1. Wow.
And a reaction.
And your reaction to attack. Yeah, so at range, what you'll do is you choose which one you'd like. So let's see, what's the range on it? Let's see here. The range on the standard attack is actually it just looks like you can see him. So as long as you can see him, you're good to go. So which one would you like to attack and copy the attack with?
I'll do this one down here.
This one? Okay, perfect. So just make an attack using you can either use a weapons master attack, or actually you would roll Arcanting if you want to as well. But either way, you can use judgment. So on your character sheet to do that, because a lot of times, you know, the character sheet doesn't have like the judgment or stuff next to the weapons. Instead, you can just click your judgment and add +2 bonus dice to it underneath it. So where the 6 is, you can just add
Gotcha.
2 dice, and that will roll all 8 of them for you.
Okay.
Yeah, makes it nice and easy.
Zam.
You guys are rolling so great.
Yep. This tracks.
It does look like you.
track.
It does look like you need 2 more dice to roll, though.
That was weird.
Yeah, sometimes
Okay.
the character sheet is, again, Roll20 does not like to work properly.
Yeah.
You got a 5. Nice. So with the point that you have into Weapons Master, you could, if you'd like, turn that 3 into a 4, and then if you want to spend 1 determination point, you can turn the 4 into a 5 and hit the creature.
Yep, that works.
Okay.
Nailed it.
I'm really liking the ways that you can add to a
It's
roll.
nice,
if it's
isn't it?
close. If it's close, you'd be like, okay, this is close. I can expend some resources to get there.
Exactly. And see,
So nice.
we're level 2, so like we don't have all the fancy stuff to make ourselves like really good at it. But even at level 2, there's still ways to adjust dice you know, sometimes the dice just screw you over, but you never feel so screwed over that you can't adjust stuff. It's never just, oh, I rolled a 1 and now I can't do anything. So, but yes, so you can hit, roll 2d6 for the damage for me. And then we'll add your judgment, which is 6 to that as well, I believe.
Yep.
6 judgment.
Ooh, nice. 6, 7, 8. So 11 damage. So right as these massive yetis appear, 2 of them on one side, they swing down, just crushing this shadow monster. These 2 almost weird green fungal ones kind of appear directly next to the other side of them, swinging down at the same time as they kind of like vanish immediately afterwards, leaving it behind this bioluminescent dust that just kind of falls to the ground.
I helped fix it.
I did it.
You very much did.
Well done.
Wunderbar.
See, isn't this combat so much fun? Like Veil of the Voids, it's so cinematic. It's just so stupidly great. All right. Well, it is now officially Guy Machine Man.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that was just the reaction.
Yeah,
That was just the reaction.
I'm gonna. How close do I have to
old
be
mimics.
to throw one of those reflection shards?
So let me pull it up here real fast in the equipment section. As a side note, I love how easy it is to navigate to my PDF, because it's like, oh yeah, what's the question? Just hit the little bookmark on the side there.
Yes,
Fair,
bookmarks
yeah.
are awesome.
Yeah, so reflection shard, it looks like it can be thrown, so they can always be thrown using finesse range, so it can go up to 2 times your finesse or 2 times your power, however you would like to throw it. And then it will use your judgment to actually inflict the attack. So if I pull up your character sheet here, if we go to your general stats, your finesse is 4, so you could throw it 8 squares total.
Yeah, so I could probably hit this duder here.
Yeah, you're within range.
Okay. Just try not to get too close.
That's probably a smart thing. Don't be like our captain.
So
Guns and men!
blazing.
Well done.
So what attack should what should I roll for the drone on that? You said
So
finesse?
it'll be the exact same as you did last time for the attack. So all you have to do is hit your judgment, since we already added the +2 bonus underneath it, and that should roll everything for you. Hopefully, assuming roll 20 wants to work properly. Hey, look at that! It worked properly.
Yeah.
Ooh, and you got 2 base hits. You don't even have to adjust anything. Nice. So yeah, you pull out of your little maintenance pocket here a reflection shard that's kind of green and gooey. I imagine.
Yep.
It's got like the little spore on the top that causes confusion when it hits someone, because it's perfect. So yeah, you fling it. Which one are you trying to hit? This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you just quick fling that. You guys hear this little as it goes flying through the air, missing both of you, thankfully. You just hear this like little blip as it sticks into the side of this creature's like shadowy head, and it just kind of gets slowly absorbed into it. And I believe that will do. It does 8 plus player level of reflective damage. Which is what, 8, 10? So 10 flat damage right there. Wow.
Yep.
Very nice. From a little shard. You guys are brutally destroying all of these poor little shadows. It's okay. I calculated for this.
Oh no, he calculated for our propensities.
Right?
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. Oh, don't worry.
We're doomed.
That's all right. You're fine. You'll only die on the second fight. Don't worry. This one I'm sure you've got. But yeah, no. Since I have that whole GM's list on how to like build combats, and I have the auto calculator now for the HP, like it's going exactly as I thought it was gonna go. Which is, I love that. That's the thing. So that should be everything on your turn, right? Because you just get your one action. Perfect. Now the shadow creatures are going to begin lurching forward. You hear this like gloppy noise as they begin moving along the floor, leaving these like ink blot stains as they crawl across. This one's going to move up
Somebody
towards
stirring macaroni.
Stirring macaroni. Ooh, macaroni sounds kind of good right now, actually.
Yeah, it really does.
I did have mac and cheese for dinner, so.
Ooh, I love mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is so good.
I agree.
I had biscuits and gravy. So
Ooh, that's also a good choice. I had pizza, so.
we're all hitting like the most healthy foods. Like
Oh
right
yeah,
off the top.
Absolutely healthy.
Pizza,
completely
mac
perfect.
and cheese, biscuits and gravy. Mine was with
It's
turkey
exactly.
sausage though. So
Oh, well, see, even healthier.
ish.
It's better. All right, so as these two lurch over, I rolled to see if this one was gonna hit you, but he's freaking blind. So like after you get this shot off, the little thing like jams into his head from spore as it gets thrown. It kind of lurches forward, and you just like nonchalantly just kind of slightly move to the right as it tries to hit you, but nothing happens because
Have no fear, men. They're slow and they don't hit well.
Well, the funny thing is, now that you say that, so
Yeah,
this one actually does hit you. Now, here's the fun thing.
Oh
Since
boy.
you have a melee weapon equipped, you can
Mhm.
perform a deflect action as a reaction if you would like,
Yes.
since it's a melee weapon trying to hit you. Now, to do that, it's pretty easy. I don't know if you have anything in the defense skill.
Nope.
Okay, so then it would either just be a base. Well, since you're using a finesse weapon, it would be a finesse. So you just roll your finesse, no bonuses, nothing like that, and you can see if you can block the attack.
Fair. All of the dice.
You do not block it. You needed a 3 to tie, but hey, it was a good shot. You attempt to block it with the blade, but as you come to meet the swipe with the blade, it slashes down, and the blade kind of cuts through it as the fingers reform and slice down. They'll inflict a full 5 damage to you.
Okay.
Hey, look, it's back again.
He's back again. I don't know why I
Wow.
keep saying that.
It's magic.
Get
It's
out of
just
there.
like it's the magic token.
It is the magic token.
Oh,
So
the
this one's
magic
going to
token.
attempt to hit Valerian.
Yes, he's only
Which
wearing
I
light.
rolled. You are wearing light armor, so that would be
Yes.
2, I believe. So it goes to hit you, and it does roll the 2 needed. Do you have a melee weapon or only the ranged? Do you have a staff?
I have a staff, a chain saber, and a hard light gauntlet.
Okay. Well, your gauntlet is always equipped, so if you'd like, you may use a hard light gauntlet to try to use a reaction to block the weapon attack. If you
I most certainly will do that.
Perfect. So it's the same thing. It'll be, I believe, hard light gauntlets use power to attack with. So if you don't have anything in defense, yep, you would just roll your power.
Which is 2.
Nice.
I have a -1 in power.
You have a -1 in it. Yep. But hey, you just need 2 to tie.
Yeah, I just need 2 successes, guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you've got a
believe in
chance.
Yeah.
Oh, you almost did your chance.
So good.
So close.
Oh!
Yeah, same with you. You like activate your hard light gauntlet, and the thing just kind of slides through it and manages to hit you, inflicting another 5 damage to you as well.
Ouch.
Okay, and we are back to Captain.
All right. Well, that wasn't very nice. So let's see what else I have.
Seems
I'm
like we'll have
going
just
to,
enough time to get through like one combat tonight.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to use Trick Shot this time, but I'm going to use the Gunblade first to
Mhm.
finish off my blinded friend, maybe, before he becomes unblind.
I believe in you. You got this.
All right, so
There's at least 2.
there's 2. Is that the right
Yeah,
number?
there's
Guys?
2.
1,
2
2,
is all
3,
you
4,
need to
5,
hit.
6, 7, 8. Yep, there's 2. So
Perfect. That does indeed hit. Nice. The full
Nice.
15 again. Yes. That actually kills the creature. So would you like to describe how he dies, or would you like?
So Captain Fitz goes for the slice, and even though it's not needed necessarily, what happens is he just like throws it, like pierces in through the middle, just dives it right in, fires the shot, and it just kind of blasts the thing apart from the inside.
Yeah,
So
and
the
as you do that, you
splatters
actually
just
see
go
this like
everywhere.
small orb fly out as well, cracking from the blunderbuss blast as it does topple over and transform itself back into a shadow instead of anything else that it was.
Interesting.
Mhm.
All right, and then we'll take the other shot with two
Nice,
successes again.
good job.
And
You hit again.
this one's going to use the trick shot to be able to.
Ooh, so you can bounce it.
So I can bounce it from, because I'm hitting this one that hit me with the shot,
How dare you?
and then I will trick shot to get the other one.
Perfect.
And so that's 7 damage to both of them, correct?
7 damage. Yep, that would be correct. Ooh, both of these are it's looking pretty rough over here. Good hit.
And yeah, that is. I'm going to, stand your ground. They're not that strong.
I'm fine. I'm doing great.
I'm happy. What to talk about?
Wonderful.
Wunderbar.
That is all for Captain.
All right, Valerian, it is now your turn.
Reaching to the side that I just got struck with, I am going to flip the page and cast Vine Lash at the one that
Ooh.
hit me.
Nice.
Turn the page.
So it is an attack with a spell that uses my judgment.
Yes.
So
So you always roll with +2 bonus dice anytime you make an attack, even if it's a spell.
Or lack thereof.
Yes.
Against your better judgment. Roll judgment.
Against your better judgment. Roll judgment.
Rolling judgment.
Hey, nice. Good 3 there. Very nice. That does indeed hit.
That's a success, so that means that my energy state goes up by 1.
Indeed. Yes.
Ooh.
I'm at 2 right now.
Nice.
And then it does 10 damage.
It does. Oh, perfect.
And I push it away.
now here's so what does your vine look like? Is it like all like icicles launching, or
so it's like this like grayish plant material that's like covered in like these blue jagged crystal like flowers.
Ooh.
And as it goes up and like it just like I cast the spell and my hand just becomes completely covered, and I just bring my hand straight up.
Nice. What's even more fun is as you do that, the flowers kind of like cut into this creature, slicing it in half, breaking that little orb that was in the center of it. And then since you have that little bit of extra momentum after killing this creature, I'll let you also throw this shadow into the other shadow with your whip if you'd like.
Oh yeah. Bring it up
inflicting a
and
little
then
bit of damage too.
Whack.
Perfect.
So,
taking the shadow and throwing it into the other one. Oh yeah, right. So we have the mimic.
yeah. So I was just gonna say, what's the range on that?
Well, the range on Vine Lash is 12 squares, so yes, you could technically use it.
Oh yeah, totally
All
doing
right.
it.
I'm like, wow, that looks cool. This bioluminescent copy.
Too. So yes, you would make the same judgment attack that you've made countless times now. So see, it gets pretty similar.
Whoa!
Wow! Very well done. So that was 4. That was almost a natural crit, but because it's cinematic, I'm going to give it to you anyway. You summon this. Instead of those beautiful flowers on the vine that the other one had, you see like pustules of spore, like mushrooms, sitting on this vine that's kind of like dripping with the additional spores sitting there. So you'll inflict the 10 damage total. to the creature, and then just because I want to show off the critical mechanics, it's always fun.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not sure if you enabled the macro, but I did make a macro. So all you have to do is go into the top right here next to the gear. If you do show macro quick bar up at the top,
Got it.
you should see. Let me see here. Oh, visible to players. Here we go. Sorry. If you go back to that thing there, you should be able to click in bar for that one, the critical table.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
Yep.
And then all you have to do is hit the critical table button at the bottom left, and it'll automatically roll all the critical stuff for you. Nice. So you rolled a 2, which deals an additional +6 bonus damage to the creature, and an additional 2 bonus damage from the critical hit. So that's how criticals work.
Oh, well, that's really cool.
Yeah. So 6, 7, 8. That would be 8 because in combat, whenever you roll on a critical table, whenever you critically hit something, you get a roll on the critical table up to twice per round. It used to be as much as you want, and dear Lord, that was the worst. So I had to balance that one out.
Yeah.
Well, it was really great for the players who rolled 4 crits in a row, but it was really bad for the players when I rolled 4 crits in a row.
Yeah. Exactly.
Especially because if you roll a 6 on the crit table, you deal double damage. So you can kill a player so quickly.
Yeah, it just snowballs out of control.
It snowballs out of control, yeah. So I tried to do as much balancing as I could.
Fair.
Perfect. Well, that was quite brutal. Anything else on your turn, Valerian?
No. Again, I'm just I do the spell and I bring it down on top of the other one, and then I'm like, huh. And then all of a sudden from behind me, whack! What the fuck?
I fixed it.
You most certainly did.
Good job, guy.
Do it again.
I cast wrench.
That's fantastic. That's my favorite spell. All right, well now it's actually your turn, Spore.
Keep forgetting with his reaction every time.
Yeah, that's the best part about mimics. They just do most of their stuff outside of their turn.
Yep. So that's using a lot, but I kind of want to do it.
Do it.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it.
We only get really one combat, so might as well.
I am going to use Arcane Mockery to do it again.
Oh, you're gonna copy the spell that was copied last time.
Yep.
Oh man, mimics.
That's all of my MP.
That's literally everything you had.
Yep. I'm like, I really like that. I cast Wrench again.
Wrench is my favorite spell. So yes, Arcane Mockery, you can copy an instantly cast spell used in the previous round's turn, and your action to cast the spell automatically. So the fun part is you just use your action. You don't even have to roll to cast the spell because it's an automatic spell cast. So you just fling that the divine once more. Whack. Casting Wrench, your favorite of spells. I just love picturing this too, just originating from like a wrench of yours too. You just like whack.
Like all
leaving
this
bioluminescent spray everywhere. So yeah, you fling this back. The creature like lets out a wail as you like slice down the middle of it, crushing the orb as the whip comes down, as the final creature falls in this fight. Well done. Good job, everybody. That fight went exactly how I thought it would. I did a little bit of damage. All right, so as the spores settle, and the ice kind of calms down as the Yeti creatures vanish, you guys recollect and you hear what sounds like loud scraping noise coming down from one of the other entryways. Eli pops over your commands and says, I have gathered some information on what previously happened here.
Oh, yeah?
Wunderbar.
Well,
So,
tell us the story.
It looks like you guys were in a fight. I do apologize. Most of my processing was developing this information. However, I have discovered that this ship, due to its Black Box records, it looks like it was currently functioning properly during the Shadow Awakening. Apparently, they were doing some strange experimentations aboard this station that was not authorized. And strangely enough, it seems as though this starship was acting as an entry point and an anchor for the Shadow Realm. One of their experiments went faulty, and the creature that they have listed here as the one who sees was currently anchored with the starship.
So, by putting 2 and 2 together, and forgive me if this is a stretch, this place is a theoretical prison for a creature when it was in another realm, but since it is now back in this world, this creature now has access to this plane. That's not good.
I agree with that sentiment.
Well,
My recommendation would be extermination.
That doesn't sound good.
Well, what was the job say about the station? Like, does it have to be?
Does the station need to be okay when we leave, or
Due to the records, in fact, any information of which I have gathered much more information, some of which is classified, I believe this would be acceptable enough for us to leave with.
why don't we radio that to the other crews that
I vote kill it with fire.
That's a wonderful idea. What happens if we just drains the power out of this entire place all at once? What happens to the ship?
He's back. He's the one who
He's back
sees.
again. He doesn't want to leave. He refuses.
Run, Captain. He's trying to take your place.
Basic calculation assumes that one of two things could happen. One, the creature and the starship itself could collapse and be sent back to the Shadow Realm, potentially closing this connection way. Alternatively, there is a 25 percentile chance that it could instead free the creature, allowing it to maintain and manifest in actual form inside this station, and therefore inside this reality.
I
Eli,
like those odds.
never tell me the odds. Let's drain it and let's blow something up. I got grenades. Where do I need to put them, Eli?
I'm just feeling a bit peckish, you know?
I will consume the star station. Well,
I
I
haven't eaten for a few days.
I could eat a star station, yes.
Yes.
A bit of light snacking before lunch. Well, I can determine that a nuclear reactor is currently keeping the station at a minor existence of power. I could open up a maintenance a maintenance exitway for you to proceed down there. However, I can neither confirm that you would be able to exit the station in time.
Well, I do have to say it does feel like a good day to die.
This is not the day we die. This is the day we are victorious for His Highness. Let's go.
Again, I'm so glad you do not have a French accent.
I mean, I heard maintenance. That's my job.
Yes, it most certainly is there, little friend.
That is what I am here for. I was informed that this was indeed a maintenance job. Well, I am opening the hatchway now. It should take only about 5 minutes for you to get to the core.
It's back.
It's back. It's haunted.
It's the one who sees.
The one who sees. No. The Eldritch
That's
God
what
was
it
the
is.
captain all along.
Eli, is there a way that we can contact the other crews aboard this hellhole of a ship?
Yes, communication is a bit faulty, but I will send it to the other Elis in command.
Oh God, there's more of them.
Yes, I'm a multi-processed core.
Yeah, that's
Currently linked to the others.
I think it might be best to at least notify the other crews of the current plan and what is anyone who is still alive, because I am betting this creature has already probably attacked at least one of the other crews.
Calculating. Yes, it does appear that 3 units are currently listed as offline.
Wonderful, and we are lucky group number 13. So,
That's true. We are.
I'm sure
we
it'll
are
be fine.
crew 13.
As you guys are discussing this, the scraping gets louder and louder, and you see the door gets pried open by what looks like 2 sickles. As this thing pulls open the door, and what looks to be like a broken, almost jack-o'-lantern face that's stuffed with like scarecrow material, like peers in as its like head kind of turns slightly upside down. Intruders detected.
Who you
Oh.
calling an intruder?
We are just
Go,
made
man, go! I'm going to
Yes.
throw a plasma
He's back.
grenade into the
Yeah, Captain, split yourself into 2. Take them on together.
Our powers combined, we will be immortal. We will have 2
Cover.
fleets under our control.
I will throw a plasma grenade at it as I tell the other ones to get in the hole, get in the shaft.
Is it a blue spider? I'm
You battle. So as the plasma explodes, you see that the plasma actually itself like starts to coalesce into like this sphere as the creature begins absorbing that energy, lighting its fire in its mouth even brighter. As you all drop down the hole, hearing this scraping along with you.
Right? Plasma is not a good thing to use against it.
Yeah,
Make a note.
I see that. Let's give it a friend while we disembark. And then I am going to. It's been 4 rounds since I theoretically.
Yes.
Yeah. I am kin of the wild as they are mine. We stand as one. I summon a shadow hound, and as I do it, it comes up. Fetch me their souls, and I dive down the compartment.
Fetch, boy. So you guys are currently traveling down what looks like it's as a maintenance shaft, but it's a automatic one, so it's pretty quick elevator move throughout the star station, especially because Eli has helped redirect the power towards this area.
One would even say we're traveling in 2s.
Maybe. You hear like this fighting going up above before you hear, like, as you're descending, you hear quizzical. This does not make sense, coming from that creature after he sees the shadow creature that you summoned. It kind of caused it a bit of hesitation and confusion, which is interesting. You guys rapidly descend through this star station, being pulled on this elevator to this brilliant core where everything else was kind of like degrading because of the shadow. This one appears to be pushing the shadow away as you go into this like beautifully illuminated area of like vibrant blue. As you see this circular sphere at the center of this core, occasionally giving off some energy, pushing back the darkness again. But this does appear to be the core itself for the star station. What you do notice is those tendrils that you saw outside as you were arriving here it looks like they're trying to pierce towards this core. as if they're trying to consume it, but the energy is just enough to push it away. So those strange tendrils that have like burrowed into the starship actually can't reach it just yet, although the light does appear to be fading. And strangely enough, you see that the pulses of energy almost go off like a heartbeat, powering this station, as if it's like the last line of life within this station itself.
Well, let's see.
He's back again.
There you go. Anyone else have a... Does anyone else need something that they need to get off their chest before we begin?
Sure. My name's
Eli.
really not Guy. It's Spore.
What?
What? You lied?
What? This entire time?
Well, Spore Guy, we're getting out of here. Don't worry about it. Eli, what's the quickest route back to the ship from here? How much time is it going to take?
There is an emergency evacuation area that has 2 remaining pods that you could take. Potentially, with enough time, you could escape through them.
Why don't you two meet me there? I will. I'll start the process over here.
Okay. I need a programming or mechanics, or you could try to do an arcanting because it's actually got built-in runes as well. Either way, if you do any of the programming or mechanics, you can do so with a auto hit die from Eli.
Is there a way while he's doing that for me to set my 2 explosives?
Ooh! We're going all out. I like it. Yeah. So most of your grenades can be triggered off-site, so you can indeed attach however many you would like to. I'd say you guys have roughly about 10 minutes in order to set stuff up before that creature would come after you again, and before anything else would notice that you're at the heart of the station.
Cool. Yeah, I've got 2. That's all I got. That's all I had the money left to buy. So.
Okay.
Okay. So that's. I'll do a programming. So that's 2 auto. No, it's 1 auto.
1 auto
So?
hit. Yes.
Yeah. So that's 1. So I get 4 more dice.
Perfect. Also, Spore, if you want to go potentially try to get the pods unlocked while they're doing this, I'm glad someone mentioned going to get them ready, because I was like, well, they're going to be locked when you get there, so that might cause a bit of issue.
Don't worry, I'll fix it, and I'll go to my actual mushroom-like appearance.
That explains a lot.
I just thought you were spreading spores everywhere naturally.
I just thought you didn't wash. Like,
wow,
but yeah.
that's actually not bad.
Yeah, I'll run and do the whole mechanical unlock of the pods.
Perfect. And do it with an auto hit die, of course, as well. And I believe you also have 2 points in mechanics, so you get to add 1 more bonus die that you get to roll with.
Okay.
So the synthetic skin, would that heal myself and Valerian from the damage we took?
Yes, you could indeed reattach that to heal for the 5 for both of you.
Perfect, because I bought 2 of those as well.
That was a bit rough. So you, as you're working on the pod, you hear a zzz as the power kind of gets disconnected for a second, as the others are working on it. But you may make another mechanics check.
Couldn't get much worse, right?
No, it could.
Well,
you got your determination to re-roll one thing, right?
You have saved your determination. Oh wow, nice. I believe you get an extra D6 as well.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh wow. Okay. The first one. Yeah, the first one you were actually trying to properly work. The second time you just used some percussive maintenance. I mean, it honestly works a lot.
The maintenance stick. I'm just like, nah.
The maintenance stick. It works every time. 80% of the time, it works all the time.
Yep.
Nice.
So you managed to break in. You know, the door slightly opens ajar. It looks like a very horrible escape pod, but it's your really only option out of here. So most likely you'll probably survive. There's a chance, at least now. So the rest of you working together, you do manage to get the grenades kind of like stuck to the side, ready to explode on your command. Valerian, you're over here with the assistance of Eli as well. You both kind of work together to bypass the protection codes. Thankfully, since this is such an old system, they don't have like really good firewalls. They haven't been updated in a couple thousand years. So
Control, Alt, Delete.
wow, it worked. Their password is password. That's so 3,000 years ago.
No, the password 1 explanation point.
I don't know what 98 means, but this thing is ancient.
I don't understand why it has 98 windows in it, but
I can't believe we have 98 of those. I'm used to only having one that you look into. Windows 1, as they called it back in my day. I also rolled so bad contested checks against you guys. This should not be working as well as it is, but it is.
We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah. So you guys are all prepared. Spore, you do let them know that the evacuation ship is ready.
Yep,
right after
it.
you fixed it. Right as that's going on, you guys hear the loud scraping as the creature like begins crawling out of the duct that you all were in originally.
Eli, make sure you tell all the other groups that they better get off the ship because
we've got like not even like 10 minutes. We need to go now.
Yes, I have informed the others aboard the station.
Is our ship off the docking bay, or else that's gonna also implode on itself?
I am currently in access of the ship. I will have it meet you, assuming you escape in the escape pods.
Thank you, Eli.
I will not
There is
tell
no
you
assumption.
the odds, Captain.
Appreciate that, Eli. All right, as this thing is, I'm like, all right, let's go, and the captain's gonna stand behind and wait just until the head appears again to use my, shoot first ability before running away.
Nice. You gotta get that in there. Yeah, so you see the creature like rips his way in here. Now you can see that this thing is towering. And it looks and takes on the shape of like a 6-armed scarecrow that has like mechanical pieces mixed along with like its like pumpkin design. It's got like an old rickety hat that's kind of like slightly sitting on its head. You see like a large green eye that has like mechanical pieces rotating behind it. As it stares you down, pulling out what looks to be like 2 balls of fire. Yeah, you can turn that 4. You can turn those 2 4s into a 5 and you'll actually hit it. So might as well use one of your determination to turn the 4 into a 5.
Do I want to use the determination? Do I get enough dice there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I should have one more, actually.
I think you should have one more, yeah.
Well, actually.
It's a 4.
It's a 4. So I need 4 successes to hit?
Yes. So you would get 1 automatically from your the pip that you could use. Mm-hmm. If you want to use one of your last remaining determinations to turn that other 4 into a 5, or if you want to try to save it for your piloting check, it's up to you.
Ooh. Well, I have 2 determinations, so I will spend 1 to make sure I hit him, because I'm going to use my last 3 fighter points to do a blinding shot after I hit him.
Perfect. Insult to injury. All right. So yeah, you fire off your pistol, which right after you fire your pistol, you activate the flare underneath that fires at the creature. As you hear this like screeching noise, as you see it begins to like crawl back into the thing away from the light. As you all manage to hop inside this confining little escape pod where you're all kind of like this together. Like wonderful, being covered in bioluminescent spore, of course. As you squish a mushroom, it kind of like poof, the spores go everywhere. So
it's a little moist.
That's one of the worst words in the English language. So horrible. Yeah, so the creature, you hear the slicing as it goes. I need a one more mechanics check from 2 people can do a mechanics check together if you'd like, so we can show off the group's mechanic check.
Sure.
And then I need a piloting check from our pilot as well.
I guess I'm
Alright.
helping with the mechanics check then.
If you would like to. Otherwise,
Okay.
yeah, percussive maintenance will save the day.
So with the piloting check, since I'm
Yes.
a level 2 smuggler, once per day I may roll with 3
Yep.
auto hit dice on a piloting
Yep.
check.
I knew that was going to come into play.
Just in case this roll is terrible.
So do we just roll together then?
Oh my goodness!
And it was
Captain!
terrible.
It was
But-
terrible.
I have 3 auto successes, and I have 1 more determination to turn that 4 into a 5
Yep.
for 4.
4 into a 5.
All right.
Oh my gosh, Captain.
All right, I'll go next.
All right, you go on. This is I follow.
nothing
Oh,
else-
beautiful roll, unlike the captain.
You just watch me just like burn, burn.
I also have that.
Quick,
I also have
beat
that,
right
luck, that
here.
lucky trait if I need it. So
That's true. That is why I'm allowing it to succeed. Don't worry.
Valerian's just watching me beat things with the maintenance stick.
That's one way to do it.
What's beautiful too is Valerian, you didn't roll any 1s or 2s, so you don't subtract from the roll, but you add 1 to it, which negates the 2 from
and I don't have
score,
any
and you-
determination. I haven't used any determination.
So you can turn that 4 and that 3 into successes. How did you guys survive? What?
By the skin
Shoot
of our
him a bit.
spores.
By the skin of the spores? Oh gosh.
by,
So
by
yeah.
a refusal to give in to the odds.
Apparently.
Never tell
I
us
guess
the
I just don't
odds.
tell
Never
you.
tell us the odds.
I guess that's why you never tell them the odds. So yes, you guys quickly, the latch closes finally after a bit of more banging with the magic wrench. As you guys launch out, you just hear this very disconcerting noise as the ship kind of bounces throughout this kind of heavily broken and damaged exit tube. You see, as you're leaving, a lot of the other starships from the other crews that were here are taking off as well. Can't believe you survived. You managed to pilot this bucket of bolts, basically, that's falling apart at the seams. You managed to just avoid all of the shrapnel in the area. You darn lucky one. You eject out. Eli brings the ship around before pulling away. Your grenades activate. Eli's programming that was in the starship lets you know that it's fully ready to overcharge the system, which it does. You guys, as you pull away, you watch the ship slowly begins to implode on itself, gravitating towards the core before, in a blink of an eye, vanishing. Now the issue is, I rolled to see what was going to happen. It was a 1 in 4 chance, and I got the 1 in 4 chance.
Beautiful.
So you guys watch as from that little finite speck that was remaining, you see it opens up this other circular hole, and out from it, you see one massive eye opens up and stares at you. And that's where we'll leave the campaign.
All ships fire! All ships fire!
Fire on the eye! Why did it work before? I'm a captain, dang it!
There it
I
is.
told you, wrench is the best spell.
It's a great spell. And there we go. Completed right on time.
That's where the luck came in.
where
Eventually,
the
it
luck
runs
came
out
in.
at some point, and so
Yep.
that was it.
Yep. That's where it all.
Hey, you
just
survived. You might
The
just have
great
another
level.
problem now.
I mean,
Lovely.
if it all went to, I was ready to do the self-sacrifice play there.
I was too. I was like, man, they are getting. I rolled nothing against your check. I was looking For that last mechanics check, I was looking for a 5, and because you had your determination left, you were able to get a 5 together. For your escape plan, I was looking for a 4 for the piloting, and because he's a smuggler, he was able to get the 4. Ah, beautiful. Wasn't that fun though? Isn't this system enjoyable?
Oh, that's
It
so
is.
great.
Yeah, I like I said earlier too. I really like the ability to be able to give yourself a second chance, or just give yourself that little bit of a push.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it gets more and more like, the more points you have in a skill, the higher level you are, like the better and better you become at it, to the point where you're like such a master at it, which is how it should be. You're at high levels, at level 7, you're most likely going to succeed the check unless fate completely screws you over. But that's how I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be where if you're good at something because of training or practice or things like that, you're actually good at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you guys have fun?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was great. I was saying, okay, how's this mechanic gonna work? How are we gonna do this? And it just, it flows. It it just it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't have to think too hard about it.
Exactly, that's how I designed it. The only time it ever gets more and more complex is if you want it to be more complex. So like if you want to make your character, like you dive deep into multi-classing and get as many actions as you can possibly get, and get as many reactions as you possibly can get, just so you can like manage an insane amount of stuff. That's the only time it gets a bit more complex. But even then, like if you know your class, you can do it pretty quickly. I say that from experience because I have several people in my parties who like, I'm going to go into every class. And I'm like, okay, as long as you know what you're going to do on a round, because I'm not going to remember your stuff.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just make
I also love the mimic. The mimic was just like, I'm going to copy your spells.
That was so awesome.
Like when we were talking about the mimic last time, I was like, how do you limit the mimic? And then like the points to do it, I was like, okay. Yeah. He's like blasted through everything in 2 rounds and he's done. So okay.
Yeah, and in an actual campaign, it wouldn't be smart to do that. But since we were on combat, it's fine to do that. But you see
that, and I really wanted to showcase how you could unload with one.
Yeah. And that's the thing about most of the classes, you'll know they all have like class points. Or if they're not class points, most of the time they're like casters, so they have a limit of spells and things like that. So there's always a way of managing stuff. But even when all of the smugglers and the mimics and stuff are out of points, they can still do a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
like for sure. Smugglers are really good at cheating throughout most of the things, especially as they get higher up in the level. Like even if they no longer have any of their fighter points, they get them back pretty quickly, and they can still deal as much damage with just one weapon as a mage can. And I really, really wanted to make sure that there was no like power creep between the two. So I really tried to make sure that both sides always have something to do, even if you don't go magic. So
yeah, it's really cool.
We blew up my owl.
Oh no! R.I.P. Owl. R.I.P.
I forgot it was on the ship.
It's all right. You can summon it again later.
I'll just be pissed later.
Oh my goodness!
He'll be a little angry.
I was like looking a little bit ahead here, and like level 5, I can see why you definitely like for a short or a one shot. Level 5 just gets a lot because what is this?
Yeah,
the optionality is kind of progresses.
I can use 5 fighter points to add pips to a 3rd die.
Yeah.
In space, there are no rules.
Yep. It's great, isn't it? But if you look here at level 19 for the smuggler, you literally have an ability called, hey, that's cheating. Because you, at the end of a short rest, you roll 66 and those become your cheater pool. And once per round, you can just swap one of those dice out for another and just be like, yeah, here's my 6 that I have. I would have failed this check, but no.
Oh, wow.
I love the naturalists with those different passages. They were like, they're all so different, varied for different things.
Yeah, they're not like, you never feel like you're not going to use them either, because I tried very hard to make it like, you have a little bit of healing, you have a bit of covert that you can put everybody into, and your covert allows you to get your feral strike, and your there's a ton of synergy between everything. And then shoot, if we got into a real fight with a boss, for instance, your companion animal would be able to heal people after you cast spells. So
Yes.
like,
Oh.
there's
Which I
tons of
almost
ways.
did because I cast the spell. I was like, wait, there's something I could do, but we'd already moved on. As I remembered it, I was like, he could have jumped in and healed Jeff's character.
Isn't that cool too?
Oh, it's
like the
so
naturalist
awesome.
just has the little guy can jump and heal someone, or you can have it latch onto someone and grasp them in place. Like
Exactly.
every class has something super fun they get to do. And what I really love about the mage classes is each mage class at level 1 has a unique ability, right? So like the naturalist has their little companion animal that can leap between people. The Thaumatek can cast one spell of each element type without adding to their arcane state, so they get like 4 spells they can use once per short rest.
Nice.
Without adding anything. Mimics get to if you get the delusion spec, which is a level 5 specialization for a mimic, they gain access to the reflection magic, and their unique thing is whenever they cast a spell, one of their illusions can be shattered to cast that spell again. So like all the mages have like unique fun ways of doing something based on what they start with.
That's really cool.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I feel like there's going to be a revisit to this maybe this exact storyline maybe in the future, but if not, definitely a revisit to this system. This has been
it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like I said it before last time too, and it was a little bit daunting looking at it at first, but it is an easy read, and it just kind of, as you go, it just kind of like makes sense.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. I tried very hard to design it that way. Now I just need more exposure so that I can share it with even more people. Because I love sharing this game. It's just enjoyable to play. Like, you get to have so many, and like our whole fight was just cinematic. Like, yeah, you were rolling your dice, but like the roll of the dice didn't really interrupt the cinematic feel of it. So like, the spore was like, I'm going to copy what you just did there and go into a bit more cinematic flavor of it, and the captain, going full hard in with at the very beginning, crushing all of my hopes and dreams by slicing into this thing and blinding the thing and cutting it in half. And
hey, if you put a gunblade in front of me last time, I had to use it like the first thing to use.
It's fair. It's a cool weapon. So
well, it's just like super great.
And all of you did something too. Like none of you were weaker than the other. You all participated to push the story along and to push the combat along.
Yeah.
So like even the mimic, who doesn't do a lot on his turn, he flings an insane little shard at people, which is great. But even outside of your turn, like you get to do something powerful when your other allies did. So like there's always something. You're never just in one spot. If it's one of my campaigns, I usually go like full on like area of effect fields that like have timers, and you guys have to like strategically move each other around. So I had some naturalist in my party when I did that. He knows me too well, so he's like, I know that there's going to be a timer on that area of effect field. So he used his vine lash on his ally to pull his ally out of it. So
nice.
That's great.
Oh.
Yeah. So because the fun thing is like, even if the spell says one thing, even though it doesn't say you can target an ally, if you wanted to target an ally and not deal damage, you just have to increase the difficulty of the spell a little bit. So like everything is customizable in this game.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy it. And
it's a good one.
There's definitely going to be some revisiting in one way or multiple ways in the future. And thanks for sharing it with us. Thanks for coming on running.
Thanks for letting me come on and run it for you.
Yeah, go ahead and give everybody the exits,
the rundown,
where the exit rundown again.
So if you're wanting to get your own copy of Veil of the Void, or look over our demo book, because we have several things in the demo book, you can learn the whole system. Because chapter 2 and 3 are actually available in the demo book itself. If you want to, have fun and play around with that, you can go to our website, www.sdgcreatives.com, or of course to our Linktree, which is what I suggest, which is Linktree/Veil of the Void. And then I also had I think I had a coupon. If they want to use that here, I just have to pull it up because I can't remember what actually the code I used was. So good games, all one word, lower capital. That will get you 15% off everything in your order. So
Sweet.
as thanks for letting me on here. You guys are a coupon.
Yay!
Also, for anybody who misses this, it's also going to be over on YouTube, and I'll make sure to share those links with you so you have everything ready to go in that playlist.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to. I'm gonna put the code in for getting some more word out too, and be like, hey, check this out. Here's the discount. It's worth it.
It
Yeah.
really is. Yeah, 15% off with free shipping, both in the US and international too. So
For sure.
All right. Well, I really hope this isn't the last we see of you, Trevor. This was a lot of fun talking, hanging out with you, and playing the game for sure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable.
For everybody that's been watching, listening, either live or later on, thanks for tuning in, sticking with us, joining this crazy ride that we somehow made it out, but caused some problems maybe in the future.
Unintentional survival.
Hey, it's not our problem anymore.
But for this time, we'll see you later, everybody.
Yep.
Bye.
Stay legendary, folks.